All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Conor Benn has come out and said that his fight against Ryan Garcia will be his final fight in the 147-pound division, as if he's been fighting at 147 pounds for the past 5 years, and that he's really struggling with the weight continuously. And, this will be my last go at it, and then I really got to get out of this division. This is a Conor Benn whose last fight, guess when his last fight at 147 pounds is? All right, this is a guy that's got a world title fight coming up at 147. Guess when his last fight at 147 pounds was? It was in April of 2022, over 4 years ago, when he took on Chris Van Heerden and he won in like 2 rounds. That was the last time we actually saw him weigh in at 147 pounds for a contest. So the fact that he's getting a world title fight anyway is ridiculous. And this sort of makes it even worse. The fact that Conor Benn could more than, like there's a chance, it's boxing, there's always a chance. He could come in, beat Ryan Garcia, and then vacate the title. And he's dropped down to 147 pounds, won a title, and then left it stranded. And that for me isn't what these divisions should be. This isn't what the belts are there for. For me, the belts are there to be won and to be defended, not to drop down, pick it up, and then just leave it vacant. Because it just creates too many problems. For me, if you want to fight for a world title, fight in the division that you want to compete in. All right, don't just go back and forth trying to pick up trophies and then leaving them undefended. For me, he should be, if he's dropping down to 147 pounds, look, at the end of the day, he shouldn't even be in the world title fight. He's in there because he's a moneymaker. He's in there because the WBC know that Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn is going to pick up a lot of eyes and a lot of money. But talk about credit in the bank, there is absolutely zero. I mean, since 2022 April, when he last fought at 147 pounds, we've seen 4 or 5 fights now, including 2 fights against Chris Eubank Jr. that were at middleweight and Regis Prograis at a catchweight. The fact that Regis fight wasn't even at 147 was like, I couldn't believe. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And now we're looking at a Conor Benn that says, all right, I'm going to drop down, but this is my last one. And it actually creates a few worries for me, because if Conor Benn, what are we now, a month out from that fight? A month out saying, I can't actually make 147 pounds anymore. Number one, is he actually going to make 147 pounds for Ryan Garcia? That's first question. Second question is, if he can squeeze down to 147, but he knows he's not going to be comfortable, is this fight going to be a competitive fight? Or are we going to see Conor Benn in there against Ryan Garcia looking like Chris Eubank Jr. did in their second fight? Because that's a world title fight I don't want to see. That is a world title fight I don't want to see. Conor Benn being weight drained against Ryan Garcia, it's not what we want to see. We want to see competitive fights, and a weight drained fighter isn't a competitive fight, and we see that all the time. So it does create a lot of worries now about this fight, and it's probably going to take a massive, massive sort of, it's going to impact my opinion on how this fight goes. I think coming a month into this fight saying you can't really compete at 147 pounds does sway me even more towards Ryan Garcia than it did before. It might even sway it towards, all right, Ryan Garcia is not just going to win this fight, but he might actually knock him out. He might actually just wipe the floor with him, because Conor Benn's likely to not really be in there for this fight because he can't make the weight. He's going to be so drained. It's ridiculous. Going forward, though, he doesn't just want super welter. He doesn't just want middle. He wants super middleweight. Could you imagine Conor Benn in there with Lester Martinez, Christian and Billy, Beck the Bully? Who else is in there? Canelo Alvarez, Jaime Munguia, Hamza Shiraz. Conor Benn would get fucking lit up by every single one of them. Yanni Bekalam Kanali has just entered the division as well. He's not really competitive against any of those guys. He's actually far from competitive. I think with the size advantage those guys would have in that fight, Conor Benn would get fucking annihilated. Well, I guess, look, if you don't like Conor Benn, you want him in super middle. Like, if you hate Conor Benn, if you're not a fan of him, then you're there saying, let's get him to super middle. Let's see what happens. But for me, I've said this on multiple occasions, Conor Benn is a super welterweight fighter. For me, he is a super welterweight fighter. I think he's a bit small for middleweight. I think because he doesn't have that boxing ability, right, that some fighters do, and he relies a lot on power, I think he's going to be undersized at middleweight. Never mind super middle. I think he's going to be undersized at middleweight. I think he can be more than competitive at super welter. Do I think he goes in there and beats Jaron? No. Do I think he goes in there and beats Fandora? No. But I think he can compete. I think he can compete with Josh Kelly. I think he can more than compete with Josh Kelly. It'll be now interesting to see what he throws up at welterweight. For me, I was hoping that he would drop down to 147 and that would become his division. The other thing you got to look at, actually, which just came to mind, Conor Benn's a Zuffa fighter, which means super welter is probably not going to happen. It will be middleweight. It will be middleweight, and I think he's undersized. I think Conor Benn is undersized for middleweight. Maybe he can get away with it because of the limited roster right now at Zuffa, but I think in there with the big guys, although middleweight's kind of fucking dead right now. Like, let's look at Tim Tszyu, who's just entered the division. Can he beat Tim Tszyu? He could probably compete with him. Do I think he beats him? Maybe. Erislandy Lara? Maybe. And that's only because I look at Lara as a very old person, but I don't think Ben beats Adames. I think Lara, if he's performing, he doesn't beat him. I think Tim Tszyu on his best night, he doesn't beat him either. I think the size thing is a massive, massive factor. I think super welter is his division, and I don't even look at him as a massive super welter. Like I said, I think he is a welterweight fighter. Push super welter. Middleweight, you're really pushing it. Super middle, he's going to get his ass handed to him by everybody. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Strange day for Conor Benn. I can't believe that he's going to drop down for one fight at 147. Like, in a 5-year gap, he's going to have one fight at 147 and then move straight back up. And that 147 fight's going to be a world title fight that is just, there is no reason he should be in there. But guess what? Money talks, people, and that's the world we live in right now. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, subscribe. I'm out of here, guys. See ya.